Why hello there, fellow peeps of the internet, and welcome back to the second episode of the Hydration Station, where we hydrate and then, because it's a station, we hop on a train of knowledge, and the destination is Smarty Pants Land. Anyone with a decent set of ears or a decent set of speakers on them can recognize the dulcet tones that I'm currently producing because I have caught the plague. Not COVID, but the common cold, because that bastard still exists. What should we talk about today on today's podcast? Well, let's start off with a random fact. Did you know that the Australian wombat has an armoured behind? There are several, almost like cartilage platelets on the rear end of the wombat, and the simple reason for this armoured backside is that when a predator chases the wombat down into its warren, or its base of operations, shall we say, when the predator sticks its head in to the hole, the wombat uses its very powerful back legs to crush the skull of the predator against the ceiling of its burrow. So that's very interesting. Also, wombats produce square poo. That's an interesting fact for you. That the wombat is a truly strange creature, one of the many species of strange oddities that roam Australia's lands. Also, now I will also apologise in advance if any of you hear me sniffle, scuffle, cough, or even take a sip of my drink, because at the moment the Lucozade and water combination that I'm consuming is pretty much the only thing that is keeping me, well, awake. It's a weird cold remedy. Like, I'm not on any Lemsip or anything like that, because I was taught as a young kid, like, even though that the advances in medical technology that we have, taking pills to alleviate the symptoms of cold and flu, whilst that is a good thing that we have created that, it's not always good to always take those drugs when you are ill, because your body is capable of learning new things, as it is apparent from this COVID stuff, because the whole point of the vaccine was to teach our bodies to recognize the COVID vaccine and then to attack it, because the buggeration of COVID is like the common cold. It isn't just one thing; it is multiple things, and we can't always isolate what it is or kill it. So my cold remedy, pardon me, sorry, my cold remedy is literally a lot of hydration, just water and Lucozade. Why Lucozade, you ask? Good question, random person in the fake audience that I'm imagining in my mind. Lucozade was originally brought into the market as a medicine, a glucose booster, essentially, because glucose is what our body uses as energy to power other parts of our body. I know words. So the glucose in the Lucozade is powering my immune system at the moment, and also a majority of my mental functions, such as, like, speaking. And it's damn delicious as well. What else can we talk about today? Let's talk about TikTok. See, that's primarily where I'm known. I saw an interesting TikTok today. Did I? Yes, I did. I won't play you guys the actual TikTok because this is, an audio podcast, so that'll be really, really weird. A lot more eyes have been on TikTok, not actually the app itself, even though that the app is growing in popularity and in size. But a lot more eyes are focused on how TikTok treats its creators and the general algorithm of TikTok in general. As this interesting person, I think someone actually tagged me in this. The TikTok app is Chinese as a majority. Well, the parent company of TikTok is Chinese, and weirdly enough, bear in mind this is a conspiracy theory that China's trying to brainwash the rest of the world by using TikTok and all other apps made in China. So bear that in mind before I continue this. Essentially, in China, videos like mine, educational or thought-provoking content, is boosted tremendously. If you go onto if you follow any Chinese creators who do like physics, mathematics, they teach about or cooking or fashion or anything like that. Those videos have millions of views. TikTok in China promotes the hell out of those videos because it's thought-provoking. It's learning. That's what I think. And the conspiracy theory goes that China wants to destabilize the Western countries only in the Western versions of TikTok by promoting the idiots. As we've all used TikTok. I'm on TikTok, but we've all seen videos where there are dumb people doing dumb things for clout chasers. Let's call them what they are. And it seems like the Western version of TikTok is promoting these videos. I think this is a very interesting thought and a very, very intriguing conspiracy theory, but I think it is just that. It is a conspiracy theory. Will I agree that, sometimes educational videos from other content creators that I follow don't get picked up a lot? Yes, it does miff me off a little bit. I've lost complete track of where I was going with this point, but that was an interesting thing that I heard on TikTok today. Recently, my personal traction has been going like up and down like crazy. My most recent video before I caught this cold and I couldn't record anymore, got 7,000 views, and I'm very happy with that. Like, there's a lot of people on TikTok who are solely focused on numbers. Like, here's the thing. It's all numbers. It's like one of my more recent videos I did very, very well, debunking moon landing myths. 1.4 million views. I am so amazed by that, and I'll be honest, I'm low-key proud of myself. But then when the video that I posted after that only gets 7,000 views, that doesn't miff me off. But other people would be like almost traumatized by that. Oh, my views have gone down. Oh no, the whole world has come to an end. No, just people change tastes. The algorithm isn't solely trained on you. I mean, yes, the way the algorithm is designed has propagated your success, including my success. I now have 684,000 fellow peeps of the internet. Hello to any one of you that is listening to this. I'm thankful that you have clicked follow, subscribe, or whatever you did, and you find me interesting or educational in some way or form, and I thank you for being on this journey with me. I thank you for doing whatever you do. Yeah. But there are some people on this app, on TikTok, on YouTube, podcasters, beauty influencers, or people who call themselves influencers in the real world. I call myself a content creator. Personal preference, I think. But yeah, they're just numbers, man. I do my thing. I hydrate then educate. If the algorithm doesn't want to pick this up, fine. If people don't want to share it or they just think it could have been better, I agree with you. But the world's biggest critic of your work is yourself. That's the bard that we'll end this little random segment on. You are your biggest critic. Do whatever you love, and eventually something will come out of it. Meh. Okay, moving on. What's happened recently? The Brit Awards. The Brit Awards for 2022 happened. I didn't watch it because, the BBC and award shows do go hand in hand, but at the same time, so do advertisements. So you watch 10 to 15 minutes of the Brit Awards. Like you follow these artists, and you want to see whether or not their work is being recognised for the awesomeness that it is. So you're invested in it, but then you also have to sit through mountains of garbage. Anyway, And I'm looking through the results now. Adele got number one for her song Easy on Me, groovy. I love Adele. Big Adele lover here. Then we got another, I think in second place was Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles. That is a very misleading song if you've ever listened to it and actually know the meaning of watermelon sugar. Hi. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I'm dying. No, I'm not. Then we had Silk Sonic. I don't know who they are. Haim? Haim? Haim. Dyslexic man trying to read things off a bloody phone. Not good. Griff. We got Rising Star, Little Sims, Astro Parks, Wolf Alice. I don't know who any of these people are. Little Mix, I know who they are. Billie Eilish, I do. I'm a Billie Eilish fan, but not of all of her work. A lot of her songs are very like hit and miss with me. And oh, we got a beautiful picture here of KSI, one of Britain's biggest YouTubers, and he will be Britain's biggest YouTuber because I believe in YouTuber news that PewDiePie is trying to leave England. He's trying to move away to I think it's Japan. He's trying to move away to, which is bizarre. But all more power to him, really. I mean, after all, he is a YouTuber with 111 million subscribers. Holy jumbus. You've got that many subscribers, you're putting in that much wonga, and you've got a decent fan base. Do whatever you like, and he's chosen to move to Japan. Kawaii Central, as it's. Well, I don't know, but if he wants to do that, all the more power to him. And I'm a fan of both of them, KSI and PewDiePie. They're both decent people. KSI can be a little bit sometimes. He says certain things, or he portrays certain ideologies that he believes in, but a lot of people would just sort of like shun that off and just, are you sure about that, mate? Weird things like that. But is there anything else on the Brit Awards? Lots of people won. A lot of them I don't know because music evolves insanely quickly in the entertainment industry. I think at one point there was a statistic that every 2 to 3 weeks there is a new independent band being formed. That's mad. That it probably even happens quicker than that. But every millennial with a ukulele is apparently a singer and songwriter. Technically, they are because they're creating a form of art. And what is art's purpose in life? To be seen. That is it. Art's entire purpose on this planet is to exist. Everything else is subtext. I think I've rambled. I need more Lucozade. Okay, let's move on to a different topic. What should we do? Ooh, did you guys hear that? I touched the housing of my microphone and I made sweet music. I made a ping sound. I can make music with my microphone, man. Shit. Let's find another topic, shall we? Let's go back to the subject of TikTok, particularly TikTok trends. Now, I was going to do a TikTok trend where you post a picture of what Hubble took. Start that sentence again, Stuart. God damn. I was going to do the TikTok trend where you display the picture that Hubble took of the stars when you were born. Here's the problem. I was born in the year 1987. I know, I'm really old. But Hubble wasn't launched until the 1990s. And I don't think it produced its first photo, or first high quality photo, until several months after that. So the 30th of July, 1987, Hubble has no photo because it wasn't even in space. It wasn't even finished then. But July the 30th, 1995, however, is truly spectacular. If you're near a computer and you're just listening to me through your earpods or whatever, if you type into Google the Hourglass Nebula, that picture was taken by Hubble telescope on the 30th of July, 1995, which I'm going to classify as my birth sort of picture. An hourglass nebula, a plume of matter and debris in the vast void of space. It's awesome. And I love stellar photography because it takes such skill and precision, and timing, and most of all, patience to take these photographs. I mean, Hubble has all the time in the world because it is an inanimate object. It is a robot, essentially. But also, you have to bear in mind that we are on a spinning ball. The ball itself is always tilting on its axis. We, as the blue marble, are also spinning around a sun. The sun itself is also moving in the spiral arm of the galaxy. So we're always continuously moving. So Hubble, what it can do is it can target a sector of space and essentially do a long zoomed exposure of that section of space. And because it's in the vacuum of space, because it's in the void of space just outside of Earth's orbit, it can maneuver in ways that we can't even do. It's fantastic. And the new satellite, the new satellite that's up there now, which is, brain. My cold-ridden brain, I can't remember the name of the Maccabee. Hydration and education. Pardon me. But there's now a new satellite, obviously, that's been launched, its name forgets me. I forget the name of it, but it's going to apparently take even better pictures, per se, of the night sky, the stars, vast entities that just float in the void of space. It's going to be fantastic what that thing produces. And I don't know what it is about fascination with space. It's the unknown, but in the same way, we don't know enough about our own planet. There is another true fact that we know more about the stars above us than our own oceans. That's a bit weird, that we don't even know everything about our own planet yet. I mean, new discoveries are being made all the time. I think in 2021, I think over 100 different species of marine life were discovered, which is fantastic, because evolution is ongoing, and also it creates some utter oddities. I think one of the new species discovered was a type of seahorse. Now, seahorses in themselves are bizarre creatures, because once a mated pair of seahorses, once they mate, usually it's the man or the male seahorse that goes away, finds food, finds protection, and so on and so forth. With a seahorse, they mate, the eggs are transferred from the female to the male, and then the female buggers off and gets food and gets protection and so on and so forth. And the man is just left with the children in his little egg sac. And then once the babies have gestated and they're born and so on and so forth, he literally ejects them out of his pouch. So you could another way to think of a seahorse, or male seahorse at least, they are the kangaroos of the ocean in a way, because they have a pouch for their children. I'm rambling now. I think we need to find another subject, don't you? Let's try something. Well, let's try the original purpose of this podcast, which was to hydrate then educate. On the good old TikTok, I was proposed a question, and it's quite a popular question that has been brought to my attention before. And the question is thusly: if you put a supermassive mirror 50 light years away from Earth, and then were to travel back to Earth and look at the mirror through a very powerful telescope, would you see Earth from the past? Okay then, let's do some hydration and education. Apologies, I've got a blocked nose. Now, let's say, for argument's sake, let's say that the human species have created FTL drives or faster than light travel of some description, because the people putting the mirror up there, that would have been an almost 100, it would be a 100-year journey. 50 years out there to set up the mirror, and then 100, and then 50 years back. But if we were to look at that mirror 50 light years away, would we see Earth? If we had a powerful enough telescope, more than likely yes. But here's the buggeration. The photons of light that have travelled from our sun and others that would have hit that mirror and then reflected it back towards us, technically, yes, we would be seeing space from the mirror's perspective of the past, because that's how light travels, and some information can be encoded into the photons of light that are being shot from our sun and from other stars, bouncing off the mirror and then going into the lens of into the telescope, and then digitized and reorganized into something that we can actually understand and recognize. Here's the problem, though. The mirror would not be focused. I mean, it wouldn't be a focused mirror. The question posed is just a mirror, blank, just a normal bog standard mirror. We would be looking at light that's traveling another 50 light years, because light usually does a round trip. So it'd be like humans with a faster than light traveling craft. It would trip 50 years to the mirror, 50 years back. That's also the distance of the light. You would see our area of space 50 years in the past, but you wouldn't be able to denote all the little details of the changing of Earth or the people on it. You would just see a blue marble, a blue speck, a star, a dot. You wouldn't even, because the amount of information that mirror would have, the amount of information gathered by the light going to the mirror and back pertaining to just Earth would be tiny, a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction of what that mirror would have reflected back in the photons that it has bounced towards us. So the answer, in short, yes. If we were to put a mirror 50 light years out and then look at it from our perspective, the light being reflected from that mirror would be technically coming from the past. But the information pertaining specifically to Earth or even our solar system from that mirror would be insurmountable. It would be tiny. So we wouldn't be able to literally look at that mirror like a history book and say, you see, son, 50 years ago we had 19 satellites and now we have 4. I don't know. We'd be able to see the difference in brightness of our sun, or maybe a large asteroid hit 40 years ago, and now that light will be starting to be reflected off the camera, off the mirror 50 light years away, and we start to see like a little glimmer or a brighter light emanating from the mirror. I'm rambling now. I'm terribly sorry if this is boring you, but let's find another subject, and then we'll close up the second episode. And the final subject we should talk about here on the Hydration Station comes from Instagram by a fellow people of the internet called Spike, or Spike Andrews on Instagram. And his question is thusly: what do I think is an Area 51? Now, if you're into conspiracy theories and aliens and potential government cover-ups, oh boy, Area 51 is it's covered, it's smothered in those delicious conspiracy theories. But what do I personally think is in there? Through the logical linear lines of reasoning, will that base have secrets? Yes. I do think Area 51 contains secrets that either the American government or other governments want to keep away from public eye because they think it might cause public unrest. Who's to say otherwise? But do I think that Aryans, little green men, are wandering around the hallways of Area 51? I don't think so. Pardon me, I just belched. That's very rude of me. I'm terribly sorry. But as for like Roswell, like they have covered that quite carefully in saying that it was a weather balloon, and it's all this debris and all this sort of jazz. But I think there may have been some truth that maybe not. I don't think an entire spaceship landed, or crash landed, or shot down, or whatever the conspiracy theories say. I think maybe there might have been an encounter between a weather balloon, which is quite high up in the sky usually, and maybe a probe of some description, something along those lines. Yeah. That's my thoughts. That's my 2 cents on the opinion. Spike, if you're watching on the Instagram live that I'm running right now, and to any fellow people of the internet who's listening to my to my sweet innocent tones right now, I think that the Area 51 base is literally just a military base. Does it contain some secrets? More than likely. Maybe some bizarre sort of like concept vehicles that the military's working on. Extraterrestrial life? I don't think so. Maybe some extraterrestrial sort of wreckage. Maybe, I don't know. Really, the problem is that when things happen within a military base, the military bases are like ant colonies. The millisecond something happens in them, it swarms and covers it all up. No one can see into it. Anyone who knows anything about those fateful times in Roswell, or I think a couple of years prior to that, there was another UFO landing that happened somewhere in Germany. Again, as soon as it landed, the military wars are all over it. And once the military get involved, it becomes a black spot. No information in or out. And I think this is a good time to end this episode of the Hydration Station. Thank you very much for listening. My name has been Edward Stewart. You have been whoever the hell you are, and I shall see you for the next episode where we answer the big question: how much is that doggy in the window? Cheers for now. Bye.